I'm Jay, and I'm so excited to invite you to join us at Jay's Supper Club, where we'll make some of my favorite desserts and dishes at a private DMV location. Join us. Hi everyone, and thank you for waiting with us after that commercial. I'm so excited again to have all of you here with us at Jay's Supper Club. Today we'll be making one of my favorite recipes. It's oxtails. We also have some stewed beef that's going to be put with it, just to spread it out a little bit, to just stretch it out, because oxtails are way more expensive than they used to be when I was growing up, when my mom used to make them all the time, because she could, get them at a good price at the grocery store. But anyway, we have all of our ingredients here. We have some olive oil, we have Italian dressing, we have a little medley of colored bell peppers, got a little red, yellow, and green in there. We also have some green onions, we have some chili powder, some paprika, a little dry parsley, and you can use real parsley too if you have some. Of course, the red wine, I love to throw that in there, especially when we're making beefs and things like that. We have some hot sauce, we have some seasoning salt, any kind that you like will do. Also have some pepper and some minced garlic and some butter. So, to begin, I normally take the oxtails, and I just like to coat it down a little with my favorite oil. Just throw a little olive oil on there, set up real good, just give a little coat. And sometimes this is even better when you're going to marinate, you can save on using all that Italian dressing and things like that. But anyway, so we got that going. We can just transfer that to a little bigger pot, a little more space. Throw our little Italian on there. It's nice and good. It looks about a half cup. Throw some of our seasoning on there, because that's really important. And of course, while you're doing that, if you want to, you can take that other hand, just let that butter melt up a little bit. It's smelling good too. Cooking fast too. I'll turn it down just a little bit. So now that's going. In Louisiana, you always start with most of your dishes a little butter, and you'll throw like your little green onions or whatever you have inside there, and your bell peppers, and just really get them going. Some people like to wait until the butter melts all the way. I like to just maybe let them meet between, or just whatever you're feeling at that time, So, get back to our oxtail. We can throw our little chili powder on there. That looks about maybe like a tablespoon, half tablespoon. A little paprika. A little half tablespoon of that or so. Also, that hot sauce is always a good little wow factor. It's really good too. And sometimes it prevents people from having to put it on their food once all the food is done too. Anyway, mix that up really good. That's it. Throw in your pepper. And we can come to this. You see how beautiful that's looking. Add a little, maybe good little pinch of that garlic in there too. So I'm going to turn it up to about a medium low. Get that going, and it's smelling great too. You got to say that when it's smelling good, but it really is smelling great. Yeah. Got that going. Wash my hands. But it's cooking, look, it's singing, smelling good. Now oxtails, I tend to cook mine for several hours, but if you want to, you can just put them in there and let them get a little quick sear if you'd like. Or you can also, put them in there, let them get whatever color you want. I got mine in there now. So spread them out really good. As I said, I added the beef too. I think it must have been oxtail day yesterday at the grocery store. There were only 2 packs of oxtails. But anyway, we're going to make it work. Because the good thing about using other beefs, you know, that may not be as expensive in high quality beef like oxtails and things like that, you can still get that good flavoring in there. And if that meat's tender, you know, you can trick everybody like they ate oxtails if you want to. But just, you know, making it work. Yeah, but when I went to school, I didn't realize how large oxtails are a part of the menu in West Indian culture. So you also notice that as well too. So I'm definitely seeing some correlations with the ties to Louisiana and my own heritage as well. Yep. So we really just want to cook this, turn it up, maybe let it go a few minutes, and then I like to cover my oxtails with water, not too much water, but just enough. So you see it simmering up very nicely. And I have about 2.5 cups of water here that I'm going to cover the oxtails and the beef with. And it's not all the way covered, but that's still a good little bit. But I say you can cover it up and, you know, just let that baby go. Bon appetit. Alright, welcome back everyone. So, just checking up on our oxtails. They're looking good. The pot is nice and full. Just doing its little thing. So, we want to cover that up and we are going to move to our next side dish, which is the greens. Now, you know, when any family function, people always say, who's cooking the greens? And it has to be the favorite auntie or the favorite uncle or even that young cousin who went to culinary art school and did their thing. But they must have the green leaf fundamentals down. And so that starts with cleaning greens. Now, we did something very unique today, and so unique in terms of, you know, the black experience. Being at home with your grandmother, you know, because sometimes the grocery store might have more of one green than they have of the other. More collards, more mustards, more turnips, more kales. Some people like to mix them all up together in a pot. I almost did that today for the most part. We did collard greens, we've done mustards, and we also done turnip greens as well. So the mustards and the turnip greens and some collards have already been cooking already. But we are going to start with peeling collards. Sort of like a spine in a way, you know. You just feel the green, you know. It's like any party will, you know, tell you how to work it. You just peel off this. There's some people like to go with a knife, but sometimes with your hands you can move pretty fast if you just peeling it away from the stem. And you want to do that. Got your green out really nice. And we get pretty. You know, people always come back home and say, boy, look how big them collards was, or look how pretty these collards are, or is. But anyway, so that's how you peel greens. So you also can do, in terms of presentation, we didn't do that today. The occasion that you know how to cook the greens, you can put all the leaves together, make your little roll like that. Get you a nice knife, cutting board if you have time, but if not, maybe use the greens. And just cutting it like that to show you the nice rolls that you can have cut up of your greens, and it makes a really nice presentation. People who really like food, like they always notice when somebody takes extra time to cut up the greens or the cabbage to make them look like pretty little strips and stuff like that. But anyway, We're going to turn our pot on to about a medium. Let it warm up a little. And what I usually do too, I take whatever smoked meat I have, whether it's neck bones or whether it's turkey tails, and I will also have them going in a pot for probably about an hour or two before I even put the greens on. That way they're doing their thing, they're breaking down, and they're giving the greens a nice broth to cook in as well. So we already have that going. Let's see. Just put my little butter in there. Let it do its thing. So what I usually do, but we've already done this, but just for time's sake, I take like smoked meat. I love the turkey tails. I learned about these in DC, and I found that they were very prominent in some of the international markets. And so I really love that, especially around Hyattsville and New Hampshire Avenue, stuff like that. So they are great to use. They have all the flavor of the neck bone, but they just have more. And so I like them a lot. So I always use them in red beans or greens or anything that I need flavor. You can use them great in cabbage too. So I hear our butter sizzling a little bit. I think it's fair to say we can throw these turkey tails, a little of that ham hock in there, neck bone. Let it do its thing. Also, cover it with some water. Let it come to a nice boil. And I so want to take time to show you our ingredients today. Of course, we had the greens, we had the neck bone, and we also had the turkey tail. We had hot sauce, black pepper, seasoning salt, green onions, of course, a little chili powder, a little paprika, and also that little Mardi Gras bell pepper, as I like to say, you know, some of the red, greens, and yellows, but it's very festive. And we also have our minced garlic, and we have our butter as well. So right now, we're just waiting for our smoked meat to, you know, get heated and to break down and to give a nice boil as well. And then once that happens, we'll come back and we'll place our greens. So, we let our greens cook. Our greens cooked for a good bit of time today. I started them about the same time as the oxtails. So, you know, I felt like they were done at 3 hours and change, but I still wanted to bring together a few more of the flavors and things like that. But anyway, these greens look delicious. And as I said earlier, we have our turnips, our mustards, and our collard greens all together. So we have a green trio, which is going to be very delicious, and it's going to be great for your taste buds. Just going to taste it, especially with a little of that smoked turkey tail in there. It's very good. The smoke is throughout it. It's not too much. It's not seasoned too crazy. Look, grandma can eat it, and your baby cousin too. So it's very good. So I'm very pleased with the greens. Who's cooking the greens? You will be after this message. Alright, welcome back everybody. So we're going to get started on those red beans and rice. As I said, we got our oxtails. They are sitting pretty over here. Perfect greens. First thing we'll do, we are going to add our little butter. Also got to head over to our refrigerator. So a nice tip that I like and I would recommend to anyone, and sometimes when you make red beans and rice early on, the little old ladies who love you will tell you the best kept secret is allowing your beans to soak overnight. Their cook time is tremendously reduced, and it's just a great tip to get on with your day and to get out and get your life. So anyway, so we have our butter on, letting that go. Just gonna throw our little green onions in there. I like to say my little Mardi Gras peppers. Fresh parsley too. It's always a treat. A little chili powder in there. Paprika. Little pinches, about tablespoons more or less. Just depending on who's enjoying and who's dining with you. Also the pepper too. So, rundown of the ingredients for the red beans and rice. We will be using red beans, a little hot sauce, pre-soaked red beans, parsley, chili powder, a little pepper trio, also green onions, garlic, pepper, and seasoning salt. Let's got a little pepper, seasoning salt. There's no ways to have red beans without seasoning. Of course, that minced garlic, that's really important. So, you take your turkey tails, put them in there. Mount this size, you don't need too much, but that's still plenty. Add your water. And check on the oxtails and the greens while you wait for it to get hot. Our red beans and rice are just about done. We actually put the jasmine rice on earlier today, so that's going to be very delicious. It has a very fragrant taste, and I know all of you millennials out there can certainly appreciate that, but also people who, you know, like a little fragrance to some things that you may have. But anyway, we have our red beans, and they are looking delicious, and they are tasting even better than they actually look. So these have cooked probably about 4 hours, 3.5 hours as well. Put them on earlier, and we just let them simmer once they were done and everything. But because they were soaked overnight, it didn't take as long to cook them. So they have a great taste. And I always love to just toss some fresh parsley in there as a garnish. You can leave it on top, you can mix it in, let somebody get a live bite of a delicious vegetable if you like, you know, whatever you want to do. But they are delicious. It's very good. It's not too much, it's just enough. It's good. Alright, welcome back everybody. So glad you stuck with us. So at this time we have a lovely spread. Everything is shaping up quite nicely. We have our greens that are looking delicious. We have our oxtails that are going to be divine. And we also have our red beans and rice that are, you know, doing their thing, wrapping up. With our oxtails, you know, before you pull it all out, you can definitely skim it again if you like. But if not, you want a little soul with it, a little experience, you can certainly just flow with it. But it's going to be all good. So that takes us to our next segment. I know that everyone is extremely hungry, but who's thirsty? I know that I certainly am. So I'm so excited to be making for you all today a peachy Palmer. One of my good friends down in Atlanta, Michael Lowe, told me about this little recipe, and we're just going to flow with it. So we have our pre-made tea. You can use any type of powdered tea if you like, or if you want to go through the, you know, extra time, which I certainly would if I had it in my busy day. You can put a few tea bags on the stove as well and get that type of tea as well. But either way, you want to be good. So we have, we'll use our sweet tea. We'll also use lemonade and peach schnapps, and that'll be the non-alcoholic component that everyone can truly enjoy. And if you would like to add a little spice to your life, you can certainly add some vodka to that experience as well. So let's get started on that Peachy Palmer. Yeah. So, first thing we'll do, take our little glass. We got our sweet tea ready. Make sure it ain't too sweet. You don't want to send anybody to the hospital. If they do go to the hospital, at least you let it be worth for something. But this tea is good. And it tastes like you made it on the stove. Some people ain't gonna know the difference anyway. So maybe go with saving that time. So, first thing I say to do, grab your ice in there. And that's definitely plenty of ice for our got a little wind out there today in DC. I think the nature gods are hungry and they are ready to try oxtails. I think my senses are transferring to the environments and the elements outside. Anywho, got our little vodka. Want to add enough. Then you can add that tea, some of that lemon juice, that little peach schnapps in there. That should be plenty good. Maybe shake it up. It's on there good too. Of course, you can always try it out. I think it's pretty good. But, you know, it depends on your taste. I like a little more tea in mine. I think it's gonna be good now. It's time to see. Put it in our glasses. And it's very delicious. And that, my friends, is a little Peachy Palmer. So, we're gonna wrap. Joining us today on Jay's Supper Club. I'm so excited that you came here and you got to experience my home with me, and also my love for cooking and this delicious spread that we have here as well. We also have opportunities for you to check out recipes and things like that. Make sure you check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. But we are going to have us a delicious meal tonight with our oxtails and beef stew and our mixed greens and our red beans and rice. So, thank you for joining Jay's Supper Club. Check in with us next week. Still live for that pot. We taping.
We're not looking.
Quiet on the set.
Quiet on the set, honey. And this is the greens.
Yeah.
Do me a favor, Mark. Can you get him looking into the green pot?
Yep.
And just let the steam come up as he's moving for it, and so we can get his hands. You can go in. Yeah. Put this on here. So this is the completed version, right? This is the completed pot?
Yep.
Okay. You can
Just
just
send over
switch this
that
one.
down for you.
Yep. Yep. 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, what are we working on today? Jay's Supper Club.
Okay, do one more time.